with UC Davis Continuing and Professional Education. And this morning we have an information session on our data analytics program, and we'll be focusing on the professional concentration, the essentials professional concentration, which is starting very, very soon. So our quick agenda for today is we'll have a quick overview on the mission of continuing and professional education. And then we'll actually go into the program interview, what the courses look like, what are their top educational objectives, and what are the skills that you'll get from each of these courses. This is a skills-based professional concentration, so we'll be centering on that. We'll talk about some career trends. We'll have a finance advisor, and then we'll have a Q&A session as well. On the admin side, the session is being recorded, and if you have questions as we go through the information session, you can put those in the chat, and we'll try to answer those dynamically, or get to that at the end in the Q&A session. So you'll be hearing from today our director, you'll be hearing from a financial advisor, a program manager. We've even got one of our instructors, but the most important contact that you'll hear from today is our enrollment coach. That's Miriam Chavez, and Miriam is your first point of contact with any questions or concerns that you may have about the professional concentration or the certificate. That's Miriam's contact information. Please call or email her. And again, she's your first line of contact for our data analytics offerings today. We also have the Student Services Center that's opened up Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. But again, your first contact will be Miriam, who is our enrollment coach. I'm going to kick it over and introduce to you our director of portfolios, our portfolio director, Alex Lowry. Alex, good morning to you.
Thank you, John, and good morning to everybody. This slide will offer some context for what we're trying to do, but let me offer some really super broad context. UC Davis is a land grant university. What that means is that in the 1800s, the federal government they granted land to the University of California, and University of California promises with that grant that we will provide useful training to people in our region in things that are important for careers. In those days, it was engineering and agriculture. Nowadays, it's really core skills that are important for almost everything, like data and software development. And so the University of California extensions fulfill on that land grant mission, and we are proud as the UC Davis Continuing and Professional Education Division, we are the extension, we're proud to fulfill it here in Sacramento area. So to address the field of data analysis, which is a very broad field with application across multiple industries and jobs, we have created a set of content that and learning activities supported by expert instructors who are often practitioners in the field. And we've clustered that content into 3 buckets that we think will be useful to people who are looking at different aspects of how they're going to learn data analytics to progress their career. The first bucket we're going to talk about in depth today. It's called the Data Analytics Essentials Professional Concentration. And that concentration is designed to meet the needs of people who are just starting in data analytics, coming with very little experience, maybe some Excel experience, but who are really looking to get that first job as a data analyst. Or maybe they're doing data analysis very part-time in their job, like occasional tasks, and they want to do it more full-time, or they can see that future. The Data Analytics Essentials is focused on getting you there with the hard skills that distinguish a data analyst. The data analytics professional certificate is a larger offering. It covers the same type of depth in hard skills that the Essentials program has, but it adds some additional conceptual capabilities, such as working with statistical analysis, and also some of the really important soft skills, really solid communication skills, ways of looking at aspects of looking at data that distinguish a true seasoned professional in the space. And this certificate is pointed at people who are already doing data analytics and who are looking to make this their full-time career and get to a level of competence that would be viewed as a mid-level career specialist. And then the final concentration that we have is this data analytics or data business partner. And that concentration pulls out the skills that are not the hard skills, but are the skills that are essential for conveying data analytics outcomes and processes to other entities within an organization. So there are the communication skills, the data management skills, thinking like a product manager with regards to data processes. With these three buckets of capability, we think we can address a very broad spectrum of needs within industry for data analytics professionals. And we hope that you find this useful as we look at data analytics essentials today. Let's go to the next slide. So the essentials professional concentration will be going into depth in each of these courses later on in the meeting. Just to high level it though, this is a concentration. It'll take you less than a year to complete, but more than 6 months. We're looking at 8.5 units of learning. These are academic units, so each unit translates into about 10 hours of classwork per week, plus another 20 hours or so of study. Most of it in this case is with projects, so you'll be developing the skills that you need by working, and you'll also be developing portfolio pieces that will help you to prove your capability with hiring managers in the future. As you can see, the topics we cover: fluency in Excel, fluency in SQL, which is a key skill and a differentiating skill for data analytics. The processes that are needed to prepare data and to explore it, they're complex. There are multiple processes that need to be applied, and this is very specialized knowledge. That's the longest course. And then finally, you'll put it together with a holistic course that covers data analytics process as a business process, and then visualization using a tool called Power BI, which is one of the Microsoft tools. So that's just a very high level for what the Essentials curriculum will entail. And now I'd like to hand it on to one of our instructors, the instructor for the SQL course, Tom Duncan, who will talk more about his course and other courses within the concentration. Tom?
Thanks, Alex. Hi, everyone. As Alex mentioned, my name is Tom Duncan. I'll be teaching the second course in the professional concentration, SQL and data collection. My background, past 10 years have worked in a couple different roles related to business intelligence and business analytics. I've found that, as Alex kind of alluded to earlier, the core skill that has unlocked like most of my career growth over the last 10 years or so has been SQL. So I'm very excited to teach that course and pass along the knowledge I've gained in kind of growing my career in this way with all of you. As Alex mentioned, that's not the first course in the professional concentration. So if you can go to the next slide. So the first course is data analytics with Excel, which I think all of us here view as an essential skill for anyone that is looking to pursue a career in data analytics. There are a lot of other like more recently developed or cutting edge tools out there, but I found in my experience that Excel is an absolutely essential skill to have, even for the most sophisticated analysts or data scientists. It's something that I personally often come back to in my day-to-day work, and helps me a whole lot in my day-to-day. So a variety of different techniques and functions you'll learn during this course. And that'll lead you into the next course in the concentration, which is SQL and data collection. So this will be the course I will be teaching, and kind of the lens that I'm planning on teaching this course through is that of an analyst. SQL is a language that has a lot of applications and use cases, particularly in building relational databases and administration of those databases. But I'll be teaching the course through the lens of an analyst and how to answer business questions. So a variety of different learning outcomes and skills listed here, but wanted to speak at the high level of kind of what my goal is for teaching the course and what I hope people will take away from it. So with that, I think, John, I'll pass it back to you to cover off on the last couple courses in concentration.
Thanks, Tom. The third course in the concentration is data preparation and exploratory analysts. Now, in this course, you'll start honing your fundamental skills for data professionals and learn some advanced methods and tools for data preparation and analysis. And as a learner in this course, you will understand the discovery and the acquisition and the cleansing of data, what the approaches to transform data are, and methods to ensure a quality data set. Now, this course is going to be taught by a chief data scientist from Intel. So you have a real world perspective on this, and kind of the high level learning outcomes from this class are to perform data discovery, and again, to distinguish process for structured and unstructured data collections, and then perform data munging, data validation, and data transformation. And we've said that this whole essentials professional concentration is skills-based, and the skills you'll get here is along the ethics of data manipulation, and then data acquisition, again, cleansing, munging, transformation, and discovery. This is a 10-week course. It's very, very hands-on. And again, you'll be led by a chief data scientist from Intel. Okay, the fourth course in the professional concentration is a shorter course on data analytics and visualization with Power BI. This is a very hands-on course, and you'll learn foundational concepts and skills and the most useful practices for conducting whole process data analytics using Power BI. So this entire curriculum is designed for professionals conducting basic analysis with spreadsheet software such as Excel or Google Sheets, and who are ready to learn more advanced tools that work with larger, more robust data sets. So to succeed in this course, we recommend that you have and bring in an existing professional data set or skill set, or a degree or certificate that prepares you for a junior data analyst or marketing analyst position. Now, the high-level key learning outcomes, it's going to be able to collect data with Power BI. You'll develop visualizations in Power BI, and then you'll be applying, again, this is a hands-on course, applying learning to the industry case examples that your instructor will provide. So the top skills you'll gain will be the creating of visualizations in Power BI, the data combining, merging, and appending, and then Power Query and data transformation. It's a hands-on course. This is a five-week course, very, very targeted. And this will get you into the advanced analytic features in Excel and Power BI. I'm going to turn over to my colleague, Francis, who will walk you through the other concentrations and certificates.
Good morning, everyone. So glad you're able to join us. So briefly, just touching on the other data programs in this portfolio that Alex touched on at the beginning of the presentation. The second professional concentration, which is titled Data Analytics Business Partner, and it's made up of the 3 classes that you see here. Each are 2 units each, and these classes will be starting later in the year. And as Alex mentioned, this is a really great starting place for someone who's maybe already working in the data analytics field, but is wanting to upskill, sort of refresh their skills and knowledge. So just a little bit about the business partner professional concentration. And then we also have our certificate program, which is a bit more comprehensive, more of a deep dive into the world of data analytics. And you'll see all of the classes listed on this slide. And if you're interested in starting a new career in data analytics, this is a really great comprehensive place to start. And you'll notice that the classes that we're walking through today that are offered in the Data Analytics Essential professional concentration are made up in the certificate program as well. So you can start with the Data Analytics with Excel course, which is starting next week. There's still plenty of time to register for that class, and continue with Tom SQL class and work through the rest of the classes in the certificate program. There's an option to take some elective units, and you will only need to take one of those 3 classes that are listed at the bottom. So again, another opportunity to really expand or start your data analytics career would be with the certificate program. Now I think we're going to hear more from Alex about some industry statistics.
Yeah, thank you, Francis. Great, so let's take a look. The last analysis we did for this particular domain was in August, so we'll be refreshing soon. But the jobs in Sacramento, the jobs data is fairly consistent, or has been for this industry and these topics. What we're looking at here is we have a capability to look at all the jobs postings that are made anywhere, anytime, through a tool called MC. That tool scrapes all the job sites and then aggregates the data up for views such as this. And what we're looking at here is the jobs in a 1-year period from September 20 to August of 21, so ended about 6 months ago, for the Sacramento metro area for data analysis skills. These are job postings that said we need somebody that has data analysis skills. And there were 5,437 postings at that time. So there's more than 5,000, which makes it one of the largest job areas in Sacramento that requires some level of education sufficient to have this data analysis skill set. The job titles, as you can see, they vary pretty broadly. A lot of the job titles do have analysis or analyst in the title. Data analysts are fairly frequent. There's some entry-level types of roles in here, further down, like market research analysts. And then there are some senior roles that are at the end of the career path for a data analyst, such as a data scientist. And a lot of research data analysts, which those jobs are thrown by UC Davis. You can see that no particular job title has a lot of requisitions for it, which just means that there are, for that 5,000 requisitions, there are hundreds of job titles that are calling for this skill. You can see that a broad swath of companies call for it. Oracle, they're recruiting in our region, but the jobs aren't like their offices. The office here is very small. They're recruiting for global types of roles. But University of California, that's us. Davis, Anthem, a lot of healthcare, Blue Shield. There's a number of technology companies that do have big offices here, like Intel. Some consultancies like Deloitte, and of course, one of the biggest employers in our area, the state of California. And then you can see it by industry too. Most of these are in professional, scientific, and technical services, which includes all software development and technical organizations, manufacturing, finance. I'm surprised that healthcare is so low on this list, given that so many insurance companies and healthcare providers do recruit for this role in our area. Let's go to the next slide. So this chart shows, is attempting to capture the degree, the trend for skills, particular skills. And what it's showing is, with the dark blue bar, how many job postings had that skill in it, in them at the beginning of the posting period, which in this case was September 2018. And then the green bar shows how many postings had the skill in it, in them at the end of the posting period in July 2021. So over a 2-year period, data analysis grew by a factor of 2. Management in data analysis almost doubled. SQL nearly doubled. Communications nearly doubled, well, more than doubled. Research more than doubled. Further down on the list, we would find things like Tableau and Power BI, which are 2 tool sets that allow data analytics processes to be run against big data sets. And as we noted earlier, Power BI is the one taught in this course. And Tableau is a little bit bigger in Sacramento, but Power BI has been coming on so strongly in the past 2 years that, that we believe that's a good choice to study. The other subtext to take away from this slide is that data analytics work is a blend of hard skills, like being good with SQL, and soft skills, like being expert with communications. Those are being called for within the job requisitions, and we focus on them within the certificate program. Let's go to the next slide. This is another way to look at that data. This is a trend analysis that's more detailed. It shows the last slide just showed the snapshot, the start and end states. This very complicated looking diagram shows how that trend progressed if we took snapshots along the way over that 2-year period. We have 5 measuring periods all told, and you can see that, and this is for data analyst job roles. So you can see that within a data analyst job role, data analysis is always the top skill called for, and SQL is always the second skill called for. And then things kind of flip around depending on the measurement period, which companies are posting jobs in that period, how many there are, and et cetera. But you can still see that you know, by and large, the top 20 skills are consistent, and the top 10 skills also largely persist. And then you can see some of the skills that that are in here that you know, may not be in our program, but you may know about, so you think about, how do I get that skill? But I think we have broad coverage and are addressing the marketplace with regards to hiring managers. And that's what we want to do. We want, when you've finished one of these programs, you to have very credible skills to go out to the marketplace with.
Hey, Alex, before we go to Francis,
Yeah.
the data suggests that this area is really trending up, but why is it trending up? What's the influence there?
Yeah, it's gosh, it's a known trend that's been happening for more than a decade. You can pretty much measure it in terms of the amount of terabytes of data that exist in the world. If you compare now to 20 years ago, there's probably, well, I don't have the number, multifold more data now than there was 20 years ago. There's multifold more data now than there was 2 years ago. And the challenge for organizations is that they have all this data, but they can't get business value from it because they're not analyzing it. And so every organization in every industry is looking at how they can get value from their data by analyzing it. Value, and that value presents as helping to understand what's my organization doing now, what's happening in my world, and also what might happen in the future. Increasingly, predictive analytics are coming to the forefront that will help businesses to make decisions about what to do in the future. And so as this data is available, as analysis of it leads to increasingly improved business decisions, there is demand for people that can deliver that analysis to the business stakeholders. Tom, do you have anything to add to that, just based on your observations?
You know, I was thinking of jumping in if you didn't specifically ask for my input, but yeah, no, I mean, I would echo, echo a lot of what you just said, Alex. And, ultimately, in my experience, I think it comes down to, businesses are collecting more and more data, and they just need people to be able to interpret it and understand it and drive efficiencies in decision making. And in addition to that, just being able to answer questions that weren't able to be answered in the past. And the way you do that is by being able to structure and analyze data in an efficient and intelligent way. So, this concentration will teach a lot of skills that you need to be able to do that.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Good question, John.
Thanks. We're going to hand it back over to Frances.
John. So as you can see, these are the first two classes in our professional concentration and in the certificate program. The data analytics with Excel class is starting on Monday, April 11th. There is still time to get registered, and Miriam is a great first point of contact to help you walk through that process, or if you have any questions at all. And then Tom SQL and data collection class will be starting June 6th. So I just wanted to highlight those upcoming classes in our data program. Now, also a little bit more detail about the rest of the professional concentration, going back to that first table where we showed each of the classes and the length of each class. And now we can share some details about the cost for each class. So the data analytics with Excel class and Tom SQL class are both 7 weeks, and the individual cost for each class is $740. The data prep and exploratory analysis is 10 weeks, and the cost for that class is $940. And then the data visualization with Power BI is a shorter class, 5 weeks, and the cost of that is $560. So those are the individual classes priced out. So it's roughly about $3,000 for this professional concentration. We will have a fast track option coming soon. And what that means is if you decide to go the fast track route, you will be able to enroll in all classes in the professional concentration at the onset before you take the first class. And by doing that, you'll receive a 15% discount. So that will bring the cost down some. That option is not yet available, but we will be hoping to offer it very soon. I'd also like to share with you all, you'll get a follow-up email about this, but by attending today's info session, you are eligible for the info session discount, which is $100 off your first class enrollment. That info session code is, you can just put in when you go through the online enrollment process. Put that code in at the time, and that will get you $100 off your first course enrollment. And again, Miriam is a great contact to connect with if you have any questions about the specifics of this, about maybe how the fast track works, info session discount code, that types of thing. She would be happy to answer your questions about that. Miriam, I don't know if you wanted to, was there anything you wanted to add about the best way for people to get in contact with you?
Yeah, so you can definitely schedule an appointment with me if you have specific availability needs. If there are some times on my calendar that are not compatible with your schedule, please reach out to me. I'm happy to accommodate anytime that will work for you. So definitely reach me via email. You could also call my number as well. And if I don't answer, please leave a message. I promise I will get back to you. So yes, definitely reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Miriam. Okay, and so now I am very happy to introduce you all to Suzette Odom, our Student Finance Officer here at CPE.
Thanks, Francis. So I just wanted to go over with you briefly, if you're needing any assistance with financing, I'm your person here. I'm the student finance advisor for UC Davis Continuing and Professional Education, and I do work in the Student Services Department. Some of the options that we do offer, the first two on here are the private loans. The first one is the Sallie Mae Smart Option Student Loan, and the second one is the College Avenue Student Loan. If you need any help with applying for those, I definitely can help you out. There's a link on the bottom, it's in orange. If you go to that, that'll give you additional information on both of those loans. And you can kind of compare the different repayment options that they do offer. And they are credit-based, so just to let you know. But they do offer, you can add on a cosigner if you need to onto those loans. The third option on here is the job training funds. We offer assistance with those as well. The first one is WIA, or WIOA, actually. It stands for Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. It's a mouthful. And then the second one is SETA, and that's Sacramento Employment Training Agency. Both of those, if you want additional information on those, you can also go to that link. That's in orange at the bottom of your screen, but you can also go to your local EDD office. They'll help you out with that as well, if you want more information on those two programs. And then there's also the AmeriCorps Education Awards. If you were part of AmeriCorps at any time, they also offer scholarships. So it's good to also look into those scholarships through AmeriCorps. And then we also work with the GI Bill and the different chapters for VA benefits. So if you're a veteran or you're a spouse of a veteran or a dependent, definitely reach out to me and I can help you with that avenue as well, if you want to look into the VA benefits. I do highly recommend that if you're going to be using job training funds or veterans education benefits, you want to start that process early, because that can take a little while. But yeah, definitely reach out to me. My email is on the bottom. You can see that. And you can also reach out to Miriam, and she can get in contact with me as well if you have any additional questions on any of this. And with that, I'll hand it over to Miriam.
Thank you. So yes, definitely reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer any questions or direct you to the person that can help with whatever your situation might be. So
That's fantastic.
What exactly does an enrollment coach do?
So definitely the first point of contact, feel free to reach out to me, and then we'll navigate what your goals are, what you're hoping to achieve, and then we can discuss the different opportunities that we have or different concentrations in our certificate program, and just make sure that it aligns with your schedule. And then we will navigate that process together, and I will refer you to Suzette or someone on the student services team as needed based on your unique situation. So yes, thank you, John.
Thank you, Miriam. Let's see, Alex, any final thoughts or comments from you?
Not too much. I think we have covered off the key points. I've just been reflecting, John, on, you asked the why, and so while we were looking, I looked up how much data is being produced. It's enormous. There's just, if you think about all of us have all of our digital devices and all the time we spend on our digital devices, and they're all throwing data, and that data can all be utilized by businesses that are trying to make decisions. Businesses, organizations, nonprofits, all can benefit with the right analysis. And then it also introduces all the ethics and governance problems that are problems is the wrong word, but needs in practitioners. And so we have a focus on that. And It's one of the things in the class that we're glad to, in the certificate program, that we're glad to have be part of the certificate program. So as you're assessing whether this might be a good program for you, I'd really encourage you to talk to Miriam, and we hope to hear from you.
Thank you, Alex. If there are no further
Questions, this session is being recorded. It will be available on our website shortly. I want to thank our panelists for joining us today, but most importantly, I want to thank our attendees for joining us and taking time out this morning. Again, if you have any questions, please contact Miriam directly. Thank you for attending and good morning to you.